So hi everyone, right, we really do have millions of people around the world flipping it at impact. And now that everyone's out there starting to film their swings, they're starting to realize it. This video, we're going to be looking at a couple of amazing drills to get you out of this position and get closer to hitting really pure golf shots, where we're looking at the PGA averages of getting some shaft lean, not starting to stand up in it, getting your entry also correct. I know there's a lot of people around the world coming in steep. There's also people coming on the inside. We're going to go through some really interesting clips in this video and give you some information about how to get in there and practice and improve some of these positions and get into these proven averages of movement. Now let's have a look at some really interesting angles, some wrist alignments, before we get into some of the really good drills and feels that we can use to all hit better golf shots. So guys, we have millions of people flipping it in and around impact. Do you feel like your golf game's not improving? Do you feel like your swing never changes? Right, in this video we're going to have a look at some amazing clips. Let's have a look at what we're trying to sort of get around at impact here to understand. PGA Tour average is 12 degrees of shaft lean. You're looking at these 6 irons, there's 13 degrees, 90 being 0. Now the reason we do this, alright, is that the club comes from this angle here, and we hit the golf ball and the low point's actually about here in front, so we hit ball ground. All right, here's Adam Scott having a look at impact here. We've got, I'll just get that up right, we've got around 16 degrees of shaft lean, and we just go back a little bit, have a look at this. We'll see that club also coming in from this type of position here. So there's no danger of fat shots and thin shots. All right, so that's what we're trying to get to. Now how do we get there? And where are most of the people in world golf? All right, well, let's have a look. When we're seeing club players, we're seeing them around impact that don't have any shaft lean at all. Most of them. In fact, some of them actually go back in the other direction, but there's just a couple of degrees of shaft lean. And the problem with this is, right, the club's already on the ground. So you're playing with fire, you're adding artificial loft, you're hitting it too high, you're not getting the moves. But we can improve, right? We can't perhaps swing like Adam Scott, or maybe you can. But it's about improvement. Now, let's have a look. This is something that you might not have seen before in regards to this wrist angles. Your wrists, your hands, people, the things we use every single day. And have a look at this right wrist angle here as we compare the two. Right, now this is a player with quite a lot of angle, and it's obviously the club golfer here with none, but you can see what I mean. See that right wrist in there? Just having a look in. This is how you get your shaft lean. This is the major part of it. Right? It's going to come from your hands and wrists and not your body. Right? Now if you can improve this area, you're going to hit it better. Now I'm going to take you through some amazing drills just by looking at your hands and your wrists here. Just by changing, without changing the arm, it changes your path, it changes the face, it changes the power, it changes the low point. So you've got path, you've got the face control and the low point all coming really from your hands and your wrists. Now I've hit 2 shots here, just quickly. Have a look at this. I've hit one with hanging onto my angles in my wrist. Let's have a look at this. We'll just pop up, line up the shaft. Just bear with me. Before we get into the video, this was hit. This was like a 1 meter draw. Hit it absolutely perfect. And when we see this thing coming down, seeing it split through the forearm, now you want to get this club head coming in behind your hands. This is what we should be doing. You should be filming your swings. Now this was a 30 meter fat pull hit in the toe. And you see I've just lost the angles a little bit, and you can see where that club's coming down, and that's enough, people. That's why the game's so difficult, to hit it way offline. I actually lost my balance and fell over this side. Right, now let's get in there. Have a look at how we can prevent some of these moves that we're seeing with club golfers here, with the arms getting like this, losing angles. The further the elbow's away, the bigger the angle that you're going to lose coming down. And we're seeing this over and over, big angle loss. Here's a big flip move, and really when we get in there and have a look at closing up some of these holes, you know, getting into here, understanding what these arm positions, these wrist positions are doing, and getting on a track to playing much better golf. There's a lot of the things that we're showing people on world-class golf instruction. So guys, let's get into the next part of the video where we can understand a little bit more the feelings and how to get our hands, wrists in the right position to hit much better shots. So hi everyone, right, let's get better, let's improve. Nothing quite like improving, chipping away at your golf here, working with a plan, working with a purpose. I've been through lots of levels myself, taught a lot of really good players, passing on some really good information here to you people. Let's have a look at how we can create some sensations. Firstly, to understand the wrist alignments and your elbow planes, then get a golf club, a few practice swings, and then show you how to get in there and practice this. This is first off the major reasons. We're going to look at people flipping, standing up, losing shaft lean, not getting the entry right, just not getting it. This is just to become a better ball striker, right? Hands together, okay? Pushing the lead hand against, get the palms together. Now you're pushing that lead hand against the trail hand as far as it will go. You swing back into a halfway position. Right, now this by itself will set the club up on a really good plane, which we'll have a look at just in a second. Bringing then from this position, bringing the elbow in. We're closing up the gap here, people. We're getting that right elbow against the side. We've got some pressure moving forwards, and then we're moving this hands into a position where we've got that shaft lean. Important to notice is the right hand will remain down throughout this exercise. Moving into impact, we've got the shaft lean. The compression line comes when the hands get opposite the left leg, and then moving after impact, the lead wrist fully into extension or into a cupped position. And that's not a mistake. All right, we're getting the shaft lean, we're getting into impact, and then afterwards it's one entire motion. The motion through the ball is just as important as the motion back because it helps us rotate, square the face up, get that speed, get that snap, and it's the ability to get on this side, this lead wrist fully into extension in both directions. Trail wrist into impact, and then the lead wrist. Now this, people, plays a major role in your club face control. Your club face control is why you're flipping it. World-class golf instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied in helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of world-class golf instruction. All right, when that club face doesn't square up in the downswing, this is the major reason why people stand up and flip. They flip to square. The flipping actually has quite a bit of rotation in it. Right, I'll show you what I mean. When we get coming down into this position here with the hand, club head behind the hand, you can see the angle in my right wrist. Now when I open up the club, see the angle's gone? Now that would normally, by most players, would then start to rotate from the tricep and the shoulder. See that right wrist? Now if I get that angle back, have a look at this. It's this angle in this right wrist. You're setting it up on the way back, but it's creating that angle on the way down. Getting that angle in that wrist, keeping, this is what, even for a lot of advanced players, sometimes losing their path. It has a lot to do with how we're setting this right hand and right wrist. Now what we see a lot of the time when we start to get into impact, we start to get shaft lean, see how the club now is lifted up. There will be a little bit of movement downwards. That's why we're seeing PGA averages 12 degrees of shaft lean. We're seeing most of them with around about 3 inches of movement down, because when we start to get the shaft lean, the arm will bend a little bit and we just need to come down a little bit to get to the bottom of the ball. So guys, let's have a look how we can practice this move. Lots of little half swings and practice swings, checking the positions. Look at my hands coming in, moving through the golf ball here. We'll check it out from different angles and then just exaggerate these moves a little bit. Look at this position here, looking at the club face, looking at the plane, checking the position. Have a look at this lead wrist, moving through. See how I'm throwing that left hand, and see the plane of this golf club here, really exaggerating this exit out nice and low, that lead wrist into extension, feeling it, closing your eyes, giving your subconscious a chance to feel these positions. Here's the back view here, moving the club down, really getting it underneath plane here. Have a look at that club face, just slightly on this side of 12, and then getting into impact and out on the other side. You can see how actually looks great there, doesn't it? Getting that club to really, those wrists to work and move more effectively, and that's how we can practice it and bring it into our games, guys.